you, sir. Thank you. Thanks a lot, Negi sir, for this opportunity to be part of this gathering here. Respected Das sir, Balyan sir, Negi sir, and my friends Mr. Ramanji and Subrat Das ji. It is really a pleasure to be here in Kolkata, and I thank Mr. Negi to conduct this kind of first of such workshop in Kolkata, in Eastern region. I think this is the first one anyone did, and he has been taking such initiatives earlier also. And this initiative, we hope that since this is a nascent region, who have actually started working on a new area, gas sector, and of course there's a lot of work going on to see that there is a conversion from other fuels to this cleaner fuel, and also there are a lot of other benefits coming from gas. So what we have seen during this crisis, that people have to move from other fuel to this, because this saves foreign exchange for the country, and also it is more secure as far as fuel is concerned. So we hope that this will help us in expanding this gas-based economy, for which there is of course target of going from 6% to 15%, and this part of the region will definitely boost this government's initiative. So we would of course hear more from my friends on the dais about infrastructure, CGDs, and what challenges. But I would like to talk about gas markets. Having operated these markets earlier in electricity, now in gas, we will share the experience of what can be done, how to best leverage the markets. Because if you see, when you run a CGD, besides capex, you have to run the company through opex, and if you see, 60 to 70% of your opex will be from sourcing, gas sourcing. So how best you are able to source, that can really make a lot of difference. And today, when we have started this exchange since 2020, we have seen people have leveraged the exchange in such a manner. And of course, one of the companies here itself, IGL, and I think MGL is also here, Adanis are also here. So all of these companies are actually doing a lot of smart sourcing through exchange, and that has actually helped a lot in terms of adding to their top line and adding also to the bottom line, both. And here actually you don't need a huge capex for doing such kind of saving, because these are all soft things which you need to take care. You need to understand markets, how best you should be able to leverage some one or two people actually can make a lot of difference in this kind of playing smartly in the markets. So I would share something on the markets. So first, if you see that during this crisis which we are going through, what really has happened to the sector. So if you see broadly, if you see the data which is coming from PPAC shows that the total overall reduction in demand has been about 10%. So earlier we used to consume something like at country level about 190 MMSCMD. Today, in last 2 months, we consume 170. So almost 10% down. And if you see all other sectors except CGD and fertilizer, their demand has also come down. So refinery is down by 35%, industry down by 15%. Then we also have power, which is also important part. They also are down by 23%. So CGD rather has grown by 9%. Despite all of these crises, the CGDs have grown. So this, and as Ramanji also said, for last 5 years, it has been growing at 9 to 10% average. And that's a big thing. So only sector which is growing, thriving, despite having a lot of challenges in terms of pricing. So when we saw this crisis happen, what happened, that prices have gone up from $10–11 per MMBTU to something like 18 to 19. Sometimes it has come down to $15, but now again it has gone up to $19. So that, despite having that kind of increase, that was very well managed by CGD, but of course other sectors who are more sensitive, they could not consume so much of gas. Now coming to sourcing, if you see, the sourcing is being done by all based on some kind of merit order. Basically what you would like to do, cheapest gas you should try to source first, and then you come to costlier ones. And if you see what is the cheapest gas, APM, which is being produced by oil and ONGC, that is of 7 to 7.5, and that is the cheapest one. But that is only rationed gas. So whatever you get, you can't do much, so there is no market. But besides that, whatever else you want to consume, that has to come from the market. So other, if you see the merit order, the other one is the HPST gas, which is ceiling price gas coming from Reliance or ONGC. And then you have now later all the options of free market gas, which is imported LNG and domestic gas. Some of domestic gas which has got some pricing freedom, that is also now coming and flowing, coming to the markets. Now when you come to the free market side, free market means where you are complete freedom, then you have to think of how you should be sourcing your requirement. So first thing is that you need to decide how much long term, how much short term, because there is certain requirement, you have base requirement for which you need to procure for you can procure for 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, but there will be some variation, or you may not be sure of the demand, so for that part you need to buy it from in the spot markets. And again, in the long term, you have to decide whether you have to buy using which benchmark. So there are three benchmarks which are more often which are popular, which is Brent, JKM, WIM, and then Henry Hub. And all of these options will be given by your vendors or marketers, and then that can be purchased. Again, the issue will be whether you should buy more on Brent linked or Henry Hub linked or JKM linked. So all of this, these are cycles in the market or gas markets. If you see some cycles of period of 5 years, you may have a higher price for the Brent oil linked gas, but sometimes you have a higher price for JKM WIM, and sometimes Henry Hub also. So all of this is very difficult decision, and of course people take a call based on the best they can understand the markets. So people usually prefer Brent linked, which is less volatile, but of course sometimes when it comes, sometimes that also becomes costlier when Brent oil is costly more. So now again Brent has started going from earlier it was used to be about 50-60, now it is running about 70-75, and just in last week it is again gone up to about 85-86, and the whole market is saying that it may go up to $100. And then of course whatever you were working on thinking that Brent will be cheapest, but that doesn't happen always. So the best course for anyone to decide is that they can have a mix of these three or two, and then they also keep lot of option for take or pay, because if you go by 80, 85, 90, then you are actually not doing the best, because if you have to leave some take or pay limits for spot markets, because sometimes the spot will be cheaper, and that time you should be able to take advantage of spot markets also. So now what we have seen happening, what CGD players have started doing is that they buy long term, but of course they keep their take or pay limit up to 60%, so that 40% they can lean on the spot whenever required. And I'll tell you about how the exchange fits in, because if you have something already done, contract, and balance you need either spot to take care, that can also be, that is one. But second part is that when you do a take or pay, which is about 60%, and 40% you keep looking at the markets, and we discover price every day based on the trades which are happening, and if you see a better price in the market, they can simply go for the market. So that is what people have started doing. So all big CGD companies have started making good use of the markets, and that has happened in last 5 years. Of course, when we started, they were all apprehensive that really how these markets will function, whether that will work or not. Second part was whether it will give benefits or not. But now we have seen that it is really giving win-win for the whole market, and people are making use of these markets for their advantage. So how they do it, because I have some cases only recently, yesterday also, because we have these options for flexible contracts. So we provide you, we are basically a platform where you can buy, simply log in our platform. You can give your requirement, what you want to buy or what you want to sell, and then you leave it to the market to give you the best price. And then if your price is within the market price, then you will get your requirement. And then we discover that price, and then we also give option that you can buy on a very short-term basis, starting from day. So you can buy for today also. That is what we have introduced since last 2 years. So intraday, same day also you can buy and just get it delivered. Second part is you can buy for tomorrow, you can buy for weeks, you can buy for fortnight, month, and then go up to 6 months, 3 months, 6 months, and then up to a year. So people are taking advantage in terms like today, if they are short of gas, then definitely they can come. Second part is if they get cheaper gas for today only, for 1 day or 1 fortnight, they come to exchange for doing that. And then we also have a flexibility in terms of delivery points. So now we have, so for the purpose of delivery, we have divided the whole country in 6 regional hubs. And Eastern Regional Hub has also been active since the last 2-3 years, because we have seen domestic gas from Bokaro is getting sold in the market. We also have identified Dhamra as one delivery point where from you can buy LNG. And then of course you can buy from Western Hub, which is Dahej, which is most active because most of the LNG comes through Dahej and Hazira and Dabhol. And Dabhol also a lot of trades happen. Dahej is definitely the best one in terms of liquidity, more volumes coming there. But otherwise, all our delivery points, we have about 19 delivery points. So few delivery points, 6, 7, 8 delivery points are located at the domestic gas sources. Others are based at the LNG terminal. So it covers the whole India. Wherever gas is being injected into the system, that is designated as delivery point. Of course, we go by with the approvals. Whatever we do, there is an approval from the Honorable Board, and then we do it. So we take delivery point approvals. We take approval of our contracts from the regulator, and then we are able to provide these things. Now, in terms of how we have actually seen the market has been growing on the exchange. So last year I can give you the numbers that we have delivered something like 5.3 MMSCMD, which is equivalent to some 37.6 crore MMBTU, which is equivalent to something like 2 BCM. So 2 BCM kind of volume has been sold through exchange. All CGD companies are now part of the exchange. Many industries who are eligible to participate or buy from third party, they are also part of the exchange. And of course, all marketers, including Indian MNCs like Shell, BP, they are all part of the exchange. Domestic producers like ONGC, Reliance, all are selling through exchange. Of course, oil so far have not started selling price freedom gas, so that has not come. But otherwise, all domestic producers, including Vedanta, HOEC, are part of the exchange. And good part is that HPHT gas, which is the second cheapest gas after APM, that is available through exchange for CGD, and government has given separate issued a priority order that whatever is being sold on HPHT side, then first priority should be given to CGD company, and that is being used by CGDs, and we see that something like 2.3 MMSCMD of this average for the year has been sold through exchange, and that has all gone to CGD companies. And of course, all our volumes are again divided between domestic gas and RLNG, and both are being equally attractive in the market. And I was to give example like from in yesterday only, major CGDs have bought good volumes on one-day basis. And power plants have also started using exchange because they need gas at a very short notice. So yesterday when electricity demand touched something like 270 gigawatt, and they were all required to run their power plants. So they bought the gas. So I'm talking about gas-based power plant, and gas they could purchase gas on the same day and day-ahead basis and through the exchange and get it delivered. So that is the strength now we are getting from the market. Of course, there is a support from pipeline operator like GAIL, GSPC, GSPL, PIL. All three pipeline operators are very supportive in terms of delivery side. So for that reason, we have been able to achieve good volume. And later, we are also looking at IGGL to be part of the whole ecosystem. And we look forward to more participation from Eastern region, northeastern region. Southern region is yet to be connected, so there, but given that only today north and west are primarily well connected with the gas network, so we have been able to make sufficient create win-win for the whole sector. Hope we will be able to do something more, and we are very positive that Ministry and PNGRB, they have been very supportive. And another part is that whoever is interested in looking at the current prices which is prevailing in the Indian gas market, you can look at our website. You can also download our app, and that will give you the idea that how these prices are moving. And that is now people actually many CGD company I have come to know, they once we start our trading system at 10 o'clock, they keep our system open at 10 o'clock and they keep looking at these opportunities coming in. Because at any point of time, some desperate seller may be selling gas, and that time you should be able to ready to grab that opportunity. And maybe it is like 1000 MMBTU or maybe 10,000. So people have purchased anything from 0.1 SCM to 10 SCM in a day from the exchange, just because such opportunities have come. So with this, I would stop here, but definitely I would look forward to next session is on gas sourcing only.
Yeah.
So we will definitely like to hear more, and I definitely will see the more insightful discussion, more vibrant gas markets coming in the eastern region, and with that wish, I would just stop here. Thank you.